Hey Jillian, let's take a look at this week 1 assignment 4 drawing that you've got. I'd say overall this feels very good. The drawing itself has good perspective in place. The cubes feel like they're being laid out very well. They feel very solid, and all the angles and the sides of the cubes are going where they need to be. So it's a good foundation to kind of lay everything on top of. The marker technique on the one on the left, it feels very good, and you're doing a great job of using your different grays to create those very distinct sides and creating a lighting situation, a dark, a medium, and a lighter value. I do think you need to cut your edges more or larger, especially kind of like down at the bottom here and not necessarily at the top, but along the sides. It feels like it's very, very thin. I'm not sure why. It's definitely not as thick as the stroke of the blind itself is, and I think that it starts to show its head kind of down below where there's a slight breakage beyond the edge of the drawing, and along the seam of the sides of the cube where it feels like it kind of moves a little bit back and forth rather than just being kind of a straight clean cut. It's not a problem on the top per se, because that's basically like your first stroke is basically a cut in and of itself, but I just feel like things could be just a hair cleaner if you're able to do the cutting. And I think otherwise it's great. You're really using your different grays to excellent results, and like I said before, the cube itself feels very strong and well laid out. The colored pencil also doing a really nice job. I think maybe you can ease up on the colored pencil just a bit, as it feels like it's starting to get a little heavy on the medium valued side, but you're doing a good job of using the colored pencil and the marker to create the light, the medium, and the dark that we're looking for. And pretty much the same stuff occurring here in terms of the technique and the edging. Very good overall. Few breakages here and there, nothing I think too noticeable, and a nice kind of crisp, clean cube that's working in perspective. So I think other than those kind of few things, it really is a nice job, and I think is showing some great use of the materials. You have to make sure that your images are properly formatted, and I think you might need to work with either a scanner or get a better lighting situation in place, because we're seeing it very light in the middle and very dark along the edges. And before I did any type of change to the file, this is what we got, and it's much too dark, and it's also not formatted in size correctly. 4000 by 3000, and that's about 5 times as large as what we would want. 96 ppi. Ideally it should be 72, but 96 is not that big of a deal, but the size of it's way too big. So that's another thing that you've got a great assignment. It's showing some great marker work, but presentation and formatting are going to drag your score down. So try to get, try to get a better image in. Try to get more lighting on this guy, so that you have even kind of coverage in terms of the light, and you got to format correctly. It's such easy thing to do, and losing points over it is, even for me, seeing a good assignment, it's really tragic. So just get those things in order, and just keep up the good marker work, and we'll see you next week.